Everybody make me a perception check.
Oh, baby. Just you wait.
6.
22.
I got a 10.
16.
So Wyatt, you notice that since you got back onto land, actually, right up into the outside edge of the Harper hub, Din's eyes have been getting progressively more pale. And then when you're right outside of the Harper hub, he like throws up on the ground and says, ugh, I think I got like seasick or something.
Make sure you get some rest when we head back in. You should be good in no time, probably by tomorrow, probably.
He says, that makes sense. I did do a lot of work when I was out on the sea and stuff, so.
We all did, for sure.
Are you heading in?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, so it looks like both Team 1 and 3 are back. Team 3 was there when you left, but Team 1 was out doing something.
I'd walk in and I'd be like, hey, fellas, guess what I found? And I'd hold up the anchor.
Who are you saying this to? You see Gizmo, he was carrying 2 swords, and he like drops them down on the ground and starts clapping.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. Do I see Erilyn?
You don't see her anywhere.
Does anybody know where Erilyn is?
Gizmo picks up his swords and points over to the sauna.
Enjoying a little bit of alone time. I understand that. I guess I'll let her be. Let her enjoy her nice steam, and then we'll talk afterwards. You okay?
Yeah, I think she was just like had a moment of peace, so she took that opportunity. He says, actually, if I could talk to Din real quick.
Yeah, I mean that's up to Din, but I don't mind.
He says, yeah, and he goes over
Cool. I'll say, have fun, kid.
and you see them like kind of walk off towards the northern end of the on the other side of the ship.
I'd wait around with the anchor until Erilyn comes back from her steam.
You actually see Jeff and Scooter come out from inside the ship, and they look like they're talking about something, and then they see that you have the anchor, and they're like, oh, you gotta come over here, you gotta check this out. He says, bring that with you.
I'll say, all right then, and I walk over to them.
So they walk back into the ship, and they go down into the basement where there's.
Is everyone else following me, or did they want specifically me?
They didn't really specify. They were just kind of like, because you have the anchor.
I mean, it's up to everyone else. Does everyone else follow?
Yeah, I mean, I follow Wyatt unless someone told me not to.
So all of you except for dinner in the basement. You see now that the table thing that was down there is now kind of floating in the middle of the air above a hole in the bottom of the floor. There's like a little cylinder with grooves on it that's sticking up out of the floor, and it looks like the table that was on there would like screw into that, but now it's floating above that, pretty close to the ceiling actually. Scooter says, I figured that this was some sort of like winch when we were talking about the stories, so I tried to mess with this. I mean, I'm guessing there was handles on it at some point, even though I don't see any markings. I'm guessing maybe they cut them off with some like magic or something and like sold it for money. About a week ago, this thing just started like rotating, but like very slowly. So we tried to like push it along, and it kind of just lifted up out of the floor here.
Oh, interesting. Scooter, do you have any idea how this anchor fits in with this floating thingamajig? This isn't anything like any of the anchor pulley systems I'm aware of.
Yeah, I'm guessing that anchor is magic, because I really don't know how you'd be able to move it like that otherwise. I'm guessing it goes in this hole somewhere and attaches with a chain, but we couldn't find a chain for this, so we had somebody make a chain. I mean, it's not super long, but it's we only did 100 feet. It cost a decent amount of stuff, but Kira pitched in, so that was nice. And it's made of all electrum, because for some reason, when we tried to attach stuff that isn't electrum to the ship, it just doesn't work.
Do I know who Kira is?
She's a new recruit that got put on Team 1.
All right, well, let's try and attach these 2 electrum puzzle pieces, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I hand over the anchor.
So Scooter casts a spell on both of the ends. You see part of one start to heat up, and he kind of pushes it onto a link that's underneath of the floating table thing, and then he does the same thing on the link that's still attached to the anchor, and then he casts another spell and it hardens.
Wicked. Good job, Scooter. It looks like you're on your way to become a sailor, I guess.
Wouldn't catch me on a boat anytime soon.
Why's that?
So I get terribly seasick.
I get you. Understood.
The anchor is attached to it, floating almost like in zero G, just like, but inside of the cylinder that's coming up.
Hey, Abby, do you think we need to cast magic onto it or something?
Probably not. If we need to, it's just going to get heavy again, but that's what anchors do usually. It seems like with Shizenno's little figurine, It's been fine ever since.
Do you think this is it, or do you think we need to do something?
Scooter says, we should probably pull this thing down to keep it from floating away. It was floating up when we rotated it counterclockwise. Maybe if we try to rotate it the other way, it'll go back down to kind of keep the anchor in there instead of floating all around here.
I guess that makes sense. Let's try it.
Him and Jeff, they kind of like grab onto the side with their hands like on it, and they're kind of like trying to like spin it
Work.
a little bit. They seem like they need help.
I will assist.
As you start turning it clockwise, it starts to lower, and then it looks like it seals the anchor in this hole.
I guess our job is done here for now, at least.
Scooter's going to say, well, actually, it seems like you might have something else lined up. We were looking into like pentagon-shaped things while you guys were gone. I think there's some place that may have the things that we're looking for. Team 1 actually got most of the info. They had to do like some spy work. I heard about it from Kira, so probably want to talk to Erlen, I guess, about that, because I don't really know much about it.
Thanks for the heads up.
Sure.
And then I'll probably head upstairs and wait for Erlen.
Yeah, I follow.
Same.
Where are you waiting?
Probably in the main hall.
Yes, you're waiting in the main hall, and you see Din walk back in, and he goes, "Oh, what are we doing?"
Well, it seems like we found a correct place for us to put the anchors, put it together. Nothing else happened besides we just kind of like sealed it up down there. But now, I guess we have another assignment that's waiting for us, courtesy of Team 1. So I am waiting for Erlen to get out of my steamer and come talk to us about our next mission.
Another maybe 15 minutes goes by, and she walks in. She looks like she's like blotting her head from sweat. She's got like a towel around her neck.
How's that sauna?
She goes, "Oh, that's wonderful." I originally was like, I'm not sure what Wyatt's talking about here, but then I figured I'd give it a try. No one was around. It's nice.
Built it with my own 2 hands and also Shizenno's hands, so I'm very proud of it. I'm glad somebody else is enjoying it while I'm away.
Good to have.
I agree. So I heard from Scooter that you have our next assignment already lined up.
Yes, actually, the good thing is this time I had a little bit of time to prepare. How did you make out with the mission that sent you on, actually?
That mission made sailors of us all, and we basically sailed to another dimension that was like opposite of this one. Not really a dimension, but I don't know. Anyway, we found the Electrum anchor, and we put it in its rightful place downstairs with the help of Scooter. So I guess that's all set for now. If you ever want to make it heavy again, just cast some magic on it.
I wouldn't direct them.
I mean, that's how I understood it, is you cast magic to make it heavy, and you cast magic to make it light. Isn't that what we did?
I had to attune to it for an hour, and then I can make it heavy or not.
Oh, it was the little turtle guy that made it heavy.
That was what activated it, but once it was activated, I had to attune to it.
Then I'd probably explain that.
It seemed like it wanted to be heavy, and putting magic into it to turn it on made it light.
Oh, that's weird that it would, maybe some sort of focus, and it just happened to work with Shizenno's thing, I guess. Okay. It says, "Oh, Abby, there's a letter for you. It's up in my office up there. I can give it to you, or you can go grab it. It's fine."
Yeah, I'll go grab it.
It is a letter from your father, not the Seacaster. The gist of it is that they're in the process of preparing something for your birthday. They can't say where they are, and there's a slip of paper inside of the letter, and it says, this is part 1 of 3 for your birthday present. It says, I'll need you to touch this to your crystal ball. On that piece of paper are some glyphs that look like this. If you want to know what those letters mean, you can make me a history check.
17.
You know that this is a version of Common that is written and spoken in Wa. Abby comes back, and Erlen says, I rounded up some supplies for you. You're going to have to go on another kind of long trip. We don't really have access to teleportation circles. A lot of them were sabotaged in the cult of the dragon, and usually they take a long time to establish. It's like a full year of casting the same spell in the same spot. So we don't really have the time to pay somebody to do that, or find somebody who's willing to do that, really. So unfortunately, we have to travel by land. But I got you a carriage, supplies for about a month. Well, half of the supplies are on the carriage up there, we figured out it would actually be faster to travel by boat on the way back down. Well, there's a few rivers. I'll show you the layout, but you have a few days before all the supplies get here to kind of do whatever. And I have your mission pay since you brought back the anchor, and I also have your biweekly pay. So she hands you 8 gold for everybody, and then 12 gold for you, Wyatt.
Awesome. Oh my god, I'm rich. Then I am going to go enjoy my sauna. So I'll say, all right, well, since we have a couple days, you know where I'll be. And I start undressing as I walk out of the house.
Din says, well, I might need, he looks embarrassed for a second. He's like, I might need your help. He's talking to the group for something. He's like, I'll tell you when we're on the road. I'm going to sleep.
All right, Din, like I said, you know where I'll be. So whenever you're ready, I will be out here in my sauna. We can catch up like a couple of guys,
I'm gonna head to like a hole in the wall.
Yeah, so you make it there.
I'm gonna look for Shinjuku and say.
So they're a few minutes further down the road at the embassy, which you can you see that it looks like the windmill is done and the logging rig that they have there is all set, and they actually have some sort of like makeshift little sheds next to there, and it looks like there's a few more tents, and you actually see some more members of the Shogun are there. It seems like they've got some more people there to help work on things.
Yeah, I'll walk up to them while pull out all my gold and say, I've been a little more busy. I have more for you.
Oh wow, that's quite a bit more. Cool.
3 times more, but it's 12 gold.
It's not bad. All right. Yeah, we could at least some more tools and stuff. Cool. What have you been up to?
Working for the Harpers. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
Yeah, I mean, you know that the Emperor has some sort of deal with the Harpers, so the Emperor kind of knows what's going on, but they might not know the specifics.
I went sailing for a few days. I got to swim a bunch. It was nice. Ate some fish. Wasn't too happy about that. But.
Interesting. Shinjufu. She looks over and you finally were able to do that technique with your bird that I showed you.
Yeah, he's nice and bright. Not that I necessarily need that, but it's good for the party.
Well, good to know that you're finally learning to use some skills.
Yeah, it's a different band than I'm used to, but I'm glad to be learning something.
Well, yeah. As long as you're learning something, that's always good.
I'm gonna ask if they need any help building.
It was, I think we got it. Say talks to you and says, now that we have more Shogun here, I can kind of focus a little more on our actual mission here. Well, part of it anyway. Other than the embassy, he says, be on the lookout for Maho Sukai. Part of the reason we wanted to establish an embassy over here was that we heard of some people who were making use of the taint in this area.
That's Maho Sukai?
You would know that the Emperor recently has kind of been on, even in the area of Wa, they have been trying to clear out the surrounding areas of anybody who uses blood magic. That's basically what it is. And people who end up using the blood magic too much sometimes they trade in their humanity for large amounts of power, but then that power corrupts them pretty much 100% of the time, and they become these angry, vicious zombie people that just kind of roam around killing anything in their path.
Well, if you don't need anything else from me, I should probably get back to the team. I'm here to make more money.
Good. Yeah. Keep doing that, because that helps keep our tools sharpened and our supplies coming in. So
do what I can. That's what I'm here for. I just kind of. Wyatt said where he was going, I'd probably just go right in.
Well, how long would you be in the sauna?
Probably for the rest of the night.
So yeah, you find Wyatt in the sauna, in the debriefing room.
Well, hello, Shizenno. Come on, have a seat.
You said my name right.
I'm getting used to it. Sometimes I forget names. It's real tough for me. You've been doing a great job. I've been hanging out with you, and now I think I'm pretty confident in how to say your name. I'm proud of myself, and I hope it means it brings us closer in the long run.
Me too.
Are you gonna come join me in the sauna?
Sure. I don't think I ever tried it, right?
No.
Yeah, probably. I would probably be aware that's probably not great for my armor, though, so I'll go ahead and take that off. I don't want to rust it.
Swimming in seawater for 2 weeks at a time isn't
Yeah.
bad.
What have you been up to? What did you do when we got back to unwind and relax?
I just gave all my money away. I just helping some friends out.
Are your friends in trouble?
No, we just have a mission to work on.
Oh, 2 missions for this ambitious little lizard. If you don't mind me asking, what is the other mission you're working on? Anything useful to us at all?
We're just building the embassy. Yeah, we talked about it a while back.
Oh, yes. So you're putting all your money towards the embassy?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Oh.
And what do I need it for?
So you just happen to join the Harpers, but you're mostly here for the embassy?
Well, I'm only here for the embassy.
And why are you part of the Harpers?
I was told to be to make
Get
money.
money?
Yeah.
All right. I probably asked you this before, but what's so important to you about the embassy?
The emperor said to do it.
Cool. This emperor, have you worked for him your whole life?
And not my whole life, most of it.
Oh, did you always want to work for him, or is this something that is part of your family, or?
I was told to.
By who?
The emperor.
The emperor handpicked you, said, I want you to work for me.
Something like that.
Why? Is it because of your exceptional skills?
No, it's probably my skills. Really advanced skills for my age.
Well, you've been a great asset to the team so far, so I understand why he picked you.
He's been training me since I was little. Meeting with all the clans, learning a lot of tactics.
Are you excited for the next mission?
Yeah, I'm just excited to make more progress on the embassy.
Well, what happens if you're giving all your money away to the embassy? What happens if you need to use the money for something? Like, how are you going to buy something that you want? Like, say you want some new armor or a new weapon or something?
I never bought anything.
Ever?
No, what would I need that for?
I don't know, to feel good?
Does it help the emperor? I'll buy something for him if he gives me the money for it.
I used to know someone named Frigg from there. Frigg is not on good terms with me at this point. Actually, they're in jail and I'm not, which I guess means that I won in the long run. But they they basically taught me all I know about demons and devils and everything. But yeah, I've been to that area. Lots of devils and demons. Am I right?
I guess. I just lived at the palace, really. But, sure.
Lots Oni. Yeah, I spent time as a witch hunter in Wa for a while. I know that your emperor probably isn't the fondest of me, but rest assured that doesn't make me have any hard feelings towards you. And I hope that's the same towards me. Probably not, because you're super into your emperor, right?
I mean, I wouldn't do anything that he didn't want me to do, or rather, I wouldn't do anything unless he told me to do it. Let's put it that way. Also, I mean, have you met the Chickadee clan while you were there?
I was kind of secluded to my group of witch hunters in the area. I didn't really meet anything called a Chickadee. Are they a clan? You said they're a clan in the area?
Yeah, they're my clan.
I did come into contact with the Crawdad and Phoenix clans, but not the Chickadee clan.
I know them. My 2 friends are actually from those 2 clans.
Is that who you're working with to build the embassy?
Yeah, the 3 of us were sent by the emperor to build it.
Oh, one person from each clan. Any reason for that?
There's a lot more than 3.
Oh, whoops. Sorry. Interesting. Well, it's funny that you and I were in the same area at the same time. I wonder if we accidentally crossed each other's paths without knowing, or we knew each other.
Were you near any rivers in the area?
Not quite rivers, but I was near the ocean.
No, my family lived near river on the outskirts of the Chickadee clan.
Interesting. What did your parents do? Were they also warriors like you?
No, we pretty much just gathered things for the emperor. The Chickadee clan doesn't really believe in material possessions, so pretty much anything we gathered, we just gave to him. We had a deal going.
So was it like food resources and like berries and stuff that you were collecting?
Just everything. Whatever he wanted. We just gave it to him.
Anything in particular?
Whatever he wanted.
Oh, all right.
We didn't keep anything we needed. We didn't keep anything that we didn't need immediately for ourselves.
Were the Oni ever a threat to your clan at all?
I don't think so. I moved out pretty young. I moved
How
to-
old were you when you left?
I'd say like 18.
Well, I'm glad after you moved out, you finally ended up here, and now you're helping us. It's a good thing to have a helper around, you know?
I'm just glad to be able to help.
How do you feel about the sauna? Feel nice and moist and sweaty?
Well, I don't think I sweat, but yeah, and it's like swimming on land. It's nice.
I'll give you a little bit of free reign around here. If you ever want to come on in, as long as you knock first, you can come in and use it anytime. You were part of the reason why it's built and here anyway, so technically you're a co-owner of the sauna.
You can have it.
Technically, we could call it wyatt sauna. How do you feel about that?
Sounds wonderful.
I agree.
I would not back far away.
I agree. And then I'd rush my head back and close my eyes.
I guess I'll do the same.
Just two teammates bonded.
You see Team 3 logging in supplies out from the outside of the dome the next day. They're loading them kind of like towards the outside of the perimeter, basically. Everybody can kind of see now that Din looks like he's lost some like little patches of fur all over him, and his eyes haven't gotten any better.
Hey Din, how are you feeling?
He's just I'm just like a little itchy, you know? So I don't know if there's like, I thought with like the weather getting colder, there'd be like less bugs, but I don't know. Maybe I got like mosquitoes or something at night.
Showered lately?
This is, yeah, I mean, went, behind the thing and had Tenora use some dowsing spells and stuff on the bucket I have set back there. I feel like my shower's cold. I think maybe there's something up with your sauna because like this didn't really happen until I went into the sauna.
Weird. I don't have any issues with it. I'll have to ask Shizenno if she's feeling any different after hanging out in the sauna. We did spend some time in there last night or a couple nights ago.
Yeah, well, it's not doing the best for my mood, and he seems like very agitated.
Sorry about that. Hopefully things look up soon.
So yeah, we'll see, I guess.
We will. We'll wait until they're done.
Yeah, so they finished offloading the stuff. Yeah, are you doing anything?
No, nothing in particular.
Okay.
Well, we're waiting for them to do everything. Once like everybody's out of the room in the morning is when I'll touch the runes to my focus.
Yeah, so you touch those runes to your focus. Yeah, so your focus now has the same abilities as a crystal ball of true seeing. Yeah, so the next day you see Team 1 arrive in a carriage. It seems like they went out overnight and brought back a carriage with 2 horses. So Team 3 is loading up the resources onto the carriage, and that takes them like a few hours to kind of get everything on there. And this is like a big covered wagon, so it has like lots of storage.
Do we know how long? I know they said we'll have supplies for the way there, but do we know how long the mission's going to take? Do we even know what we're looking for?
Not yet. Erilyn said that she would basically tell you like before you were going to leave onto the mission. She was going to wait till all the supplies were there. So what you're looking for there are 4 pentagonal plates, and 3 of them are being worn by Silver Knights in Silvery Moon. One of them is on the necklace of Tairn Hornblade, who is the current ruler of Silvery Moon. The 3 plates that the Silver Knights have are being used on their shields.
Plates?
They're like flat pentagonal pieces. They are not the only Silver Knights, but those are the 3 that have been spotted.
They'd be likely to just hand stuff over, or?
The Harpers are not on the best of terms with Tairn Hornblade or Silvery Moon. So for this mission, it's probably best to use a little subtlety. If you want a little bit of history on that, as you know, years ago, we actually worked with Tairn in the war on the Cult of the Dragon, but due to some philosophical differences, we'll say, he did not back us with his support, so we don't really see eye to eye. We lost many Harpers, and I think having the forces of Silvery Moon behind us would have helped. Yeah, I mean back then he was just on the spell guard.
Okay, valid. What are these philosophical differences? I'm guessing I would know them.
Silvery Moon has just been very a defensive land rather than going off and fighting. They're not very likely to give their support behind people. Part of that is they're kind of secluded from a lot of other civilizations. They're pretty far north, so this is why we have a lot of supplies. It's going to take about 16 days to get up there. You'll have to up the long road first and then over the Evermore Way. Then, once you acquire the pentagonal plates, it'll be a 9-day travel back, but you'll be able to use the boats through the Evermores and then down the Cerberun River, and then that'll connect to the Desserin River, which will then lead out to the sea near Waterdeep, and then you should be able to find your way back from Waterdeep pretty easily.
When you mention subtlety, what kind of subtlety are you thinking?
Well, if they learn that the Harpers are there trying to, and I'll be pretty transparent about this, well, most likely you'll need to steal these items. So definitely don't get caught, and definitely try to be subtle with who you are in that city. Try not to raise suspicions.
Do we have any allies we can trust in the city?
Since Silvery Moon is very guarded, I wouldn't put it past anyone to be sort of undercover protecting Silvery Moon. I mean, you might be able to create some opportunities there in order to gain some favor with some people, but by no means would I expect anybody in Silvery Moon to be favorable with us.
Valid. Good enough. Kind of know what we need to do then. Do you happen to have any potions or equipment that might help us keep that low profile you were talking about?
No, mostly what I was able to get approval for was food supplies and water and camping equipment for you. It's a lot of food and it's a long travel, so there's also some food in there for the horses that you have. But once you make it to Silvery Moon, you can drop off the horses there because you'll be taking the boat back. At the stable, they should have like a little exchange there. The stables outside of Silvery Moon do like a normal exchange thing. So if you bring them back in a carriage, they will trade you for boats if they have some there. There's a lot of people who travel across the Evermores.
So for supplies, do we have enough supplies for the way back?
No. So the exchange that Team 1 has set up there, you bring the carriage there with the horses, and the food and supplies will be on the boat for the way back.
Okay, so I'll head out then, or I'll start heading out.
Yeah, you start riding the carriage out and up the tradeway. About an hour up, Did says, oh right, I wanted to let you guys know, there's some people who were previously part of Gizmo and I's group, and they're kind of abusing the powers that we have, but because they're abusing these powers, they're kind of a little bit stronger than just me and Gizmo, and so I was wondering if you guys would be able to help me either capture them, or if they end up fighting back, take them out. They're pretty bad dudes. We're going to be passing by, I guess, where their hideout is. It's in an abandoned town called Flint Rock.
What do you mean by
we are blood hunters. So I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I was telling you how Gizmo said that I fell out of the sky, and I got like a huge gash on my head, and so then I couldn't remember things, but I've slowly been recovering memories. But before that, Gizmo had kind of like brought me back to health, and he said I possessed like really strong blood magic abilities, but I couldn't control them due to my injuries, and so I've been practicing on those for a while, working with the Harpers to get money to pay back on Gizmo. During that time, I've been working on my abilities, and then he said that I was focused enough to control my abilities, so I could join his brotherhood that also practices blood magic.
So you're coming out of your shell a little bit. Is Gizmo also a tabaxi?
No, he is 1/4 catfolk, 3/4 human.
So what does he look like?
He kind of looks like Geralt with pointy ears and cat eyes.
Okay. Would I know anything about Gizmo because of my whole situation?
You know that he's been there a long time. He is the owner of Pie Gut's Hole in the Wall. He says that his parents mysteriously died, but when he describes it to you, it just sounds like they had like a heart attack. He thinks that his brother didn't die of old age, that he turned into a monster, but everybody else is convinced that his brother died of old age. His father's names are Guadalupe and Gremlin. And I guess since you've been on Team 1 for long enough, you'd know that he was conceived through ancient magic because his parents really wanted another child.
I love it. I guess we keep going, unless he tells us anything else.
I guess I would push him a little bit. Maybe I would say like, hey, is there anything maybe that you're not, are you holding out a little bit of information there? Or are you really okay?
He scratches his head and a little tuft of hair comes out. He says, I think I told you everything. Yeah.
Well, you don't really look so good there, buddy. I'm happy to help you and everything like that, but if you want our help, maybe you should tell us what's really going on.
He said, maybe it's all the poop that you guys made me touch.
I mean, you look bad, man. You look like maybe it's a little bit more than just touching some poop.
Well, I only got like 10 hours of sleep last night, so you do know that you have seen him like napping pretty much on every mission and any time that you see him around.
I mean, if he doesn't want to tell me, I guess I probably won't push him any further than that.
Yes, you get up the road about halfway between Daggerford and the Misty Forest, where the Harper Hub is. You see in front of you some sort of spiraling black mist in the middle of the road.
What the fuck is that?
So I would stop the carriage and get off before we head into the mist.
As you stop the horses, the mist sort of opens up wider, and it looks like there's this kind of like tear in the air that like this like black mist is seeping out of. Aerolith, out of this tear steps your mom. Do you want to describe what they see?
Long red hair, big demon horns, black eyes, long skinny black tail.
Fully black eyes.
Yeah, fully blacked out.
And yeah, I am terrified of the implications this may have for me.
Not knowing that she's your mother, I would try and put myself between her and the rest of the group, trying to protect them, just because it's a mysterious person that just jumped out of some misty boys.
I would probably be confused and draw my weapon.
Stop, who are you?
She says, I don't mean you any harm. And she says, I was actually meaning to talk to my daughter, and points at Aero.
Is your mom, or is this person trying to trick us?
I would just ignore Wyatt probably, and I'd go up to Orosi and I'd be like, "Oh, I thought you were dead, Mom. I can't believe you're alive."
No, when I went back to the house and I saw, I saw your father's body there, I assumed the worst. Then I was talking to some people at a tavern nearby, and they had described that they saw you, and they saw your sister running off. So I headed back to the house. I thought maybe that you had went back there, and then I figured out what happened. Your sister must have.
What's happened? Do you know what's going on with Lilith? She's freaking out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping this would never be an actual thing. I thought this was just kind of like I want to say a rumor, but my clan that you descend from, they made a pact with Asmodeus a long time ago. Every third generation of our clan, those children that are born in that third generation, their souls are, I guess, given to Asmodeus ahead of time. And it seems like he was able to claim or influence your sister. But I think that sword that your father used may have been protecting you from his influence, because it seems like, that didn't happen to you. But I'm afraid that, your sister may be influenced too far by Asmodeus, and he might be trying to claim the soul that our family has offered up to him long ago, which is your soul. I'm glad that you are still wearing that necklace, because that seems to have been throwing her off of your trail. She mentioned the person that gave her that necklace. His name was Kindael, Kyndael.
That's who gave Aero her necklace?
No, that's who gave Arase the necklace that she then gave to Aero. I came from the Shadowfell, and I've been trying to find a way to contact you without leading her to you, because the necklace that I gave you protects against scrying. It not completely, but it makes it seem as though you are a month ago where you were. That's where it seems like you are now if somebody tries to scry on you. I don't have one of those necklaces for myself, but I've just been dipping into the Shadowfell to try to find some friends that I have. Maybe they can help.
What should I do? Do you know what I need to do in order to help her? Or
well,
where's this Asmodeus guy? Can I just go kill him?
Not quite. Those friends that I was talking about, they may have powers, some levels of gods, if they're still alive. So,
well, you're basically a god. Why don't you go kill him?
Unfortunately, Asmodeus is a lot more powerful than just one god. With many souls flowing into his power, it would take a lot to stop him, or even to convince him to make a new deal. That's an endless amount of souls offered up to him through every 3 generations. That seems like a deal that no devil would turn down. So I think I'm gonna need help from my friends.
Is there anything that I can do? I mean, I thought I was the only one left. I was ready to go, find and kill whatever demon or devil I had to in order to fix this.
Well, your sister is hunting you, so I'm pretty sure she's being influenced by Asmodeus to disarm you if that sword is indeed protecting you from his influence. So she'll probably try to hunt you down and get your sword away from you in order to influence you. So, if you see her, I wouldn't fight her. It seems like she killed your father, and you know how strong he was. So
I should avoid her, probably. I shouldn't engage.
Yeah, I wouldn't. You're much safer with the Harpers than you are with me. I don't know if you're powerful enough, at least yet, to not be influenced by the Shadowfell. Otherwise, I would take you with me.
So, I mean, what do you want me to do?
Well, that bubble that the Harpers have up is a it seems like a pretty safe place. They have lots of guards there. It seems to protect against scrying altogether. I was trying to find you for a while, and then you popped out of there. It seems that anybody who has had that necklace before is able to see where the current user is. So once you came out of the bubble, I was able to find you. So I figured I'd meet you somewhere where you weren't going to be staying for a long time. That way, it wouldn't attract your sister here. So I can only stay on this plane for a little bit. So I actually have to go soon.
Okay. So should I just stay with these guys and keep helping them, or are you gonna come get me at some point? Or are you gonna?
Yeah, if I find my friends, I will come and find you.
I'm scared,
Yeah, I think that you're in good hands. The Harpers are a pretty good group to be around. Your father was with the Harpers for a little bit, so.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll stay with them.
Okay. Well, it's good to know that you're safe.
Can I contact you in any way if I need help or?
I can keep watch on you whenever I pop back into this plane, for a little bit, but we don't really have a way to communicate, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I'll be watching and making sure you're safe.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah. Sorry, I wish I could stay longer, but I don't want to attract the attention of your sister and risk both our lives.
I would turn to Wyatt and I'd be like, well, I guess I'm gonna stay with you guys for now. Was everybody basically there for that?
Yeah, and so she'll point to Wyatt and say, keep her safe, and then she grabs like the hilt of her sword and then says, or else, and then she steps backwards into the misty black portal, and then it closes, and then you see a little small explosion of wind kind of out from that, and it leaves like the same pattern that you guys saw before.
Well, Aero, seems like you're in some deep doo-doo. Take it from a witch hunter that knows a lot about demons and devils. You are in with the worst of them. I am so sorry.
What do you mean?
Asmodeus is the king of the 9 hells.
Yep.
Is that bad?
Yep.
With the father of all demons.
Yep. Yep, Abby is correct. You probably couldn't get mixed up with a worse dude than Asmodeus.
Yeah, I've done a lot of research on the 9 hells and devils and demons and stuff, and it's a name that comes up a lot, and whenever it does, it's always the worst stuff.
Well, if he's the one that helped my sister kill my dad, then I'm gonna kill him.
I mean, he's also the one that made tieflings, so, I mean, that's a good thing, because you're here.
I guess so. He sounds like a bad guy to me. He basically killed my dad, so.
From the deepest depths of my soul, I want to help you, so I will assure in any way I can that you do follow out. Killing the king of the 9 hells, apparently, is one of our missions now. But okay, that's something I guess we're doing.
It just sits there in the corner like, kill Ganon.
I know.
You got a little journal update.
Yeah.
I didn't know that your necklace stopped scrying. I don't know if your mom has anything like that, but if you're ever really worried about her, I could try scrying on her for you.
That'd be cool. Can you reach? I mean, she said she was in the Shadowfell, which is like I know it's another plane that her and my dad used to go to.
Scrying doesn't usually work through planes of existence. so I can try every once in a while. If I can find her, then we know she's somewhere on the material plane with us. It's a one-way thing, so even if we do see her, we wouldn't be able to talk to her or anything.
I mean, I would appreciate it, but I trust that I trust that if she's still alive now, that she'll be okay. I'm mostly worried about like my sister, and that's a lot to drop on somebody all at once like that. I got to go kill the king of hell now to save my sister. That sounds great. That sounds like I'm a little.
I mean, it seems like it's more to save you than her, because he would probably prefer both of you to be alive.
Yeah, I'll do what I have to do to save her, but it would be nice if we could both be alive. Yeah.
Well, who knows what we'll find out. It seems like we need to definitely do some research and some training before we even try and take on your sister or de-demonify her or something like that. Plus, you have us with you, so you're not alone in this. Hopefully, with all of our specialties and all of our brain power, we'll be able to figure something out.
I would say to Abby, do you know if your earring that you have there has any sort of special magical ability like that? Because I mean, it's pretty similar to my necklace.
I don't know, to be sure. My dad gave it to me as sort of like a keepsake before. Well, my real dad gave it to me before he left. My dad that you guys have met is my stepdad. I don't know if I've ever said that. But he gave it to me as a keepsake before he left, just sort of to remember him by. I never really thought there was anything like it until I saw your necklace. So maybe now that I've gotten a little stronger, and I can do things like scrying and more magical knowledge, being able to detect it and dispel it and that sort of stuff, that I could really try looking at it again.
Yeah, maybe it does something similar or something. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a good thought.
Please start getting back onto the wagon and tell everyone, everyone get back on. We still have quite a ways to go.
Get back on the wagon, and I just look super like depressed.
Yeah, at the beginning of that encounter, I was very visibly flustered when she said my daughter, but then once it wasn't me, I was much calmer. In that moment, definitely not worried about hiding how I was feeling. I was much more worried about what was immediately in front of me.
That's sus. I love all the intrigue. Once everyone's on board, I'd probably start driving the wagon again. Okay, so what we'll do is I probably wouldn't, if I knew that we were passing by Waterdeep, I'd probably not stop at Daggerford.
It's the next day, and you're about to pass over the bridge that goes over the Desserin River and then leads to Waterdeep.
When we get to Waterdeep, I'm going to suggest we stop. Can we assume we're at Waterdeep?
Yeah.
All right, team. How would you feel about checking out some shops in Waterdeep to see if we can find anything that'll help us sneak around Silvery Moon a little bit better?
Sounds good to me.
So what are you looking for?
I am looking for a potions shop or a wizarding shop or something that might help us kind of conceal ourselves since we're trying to steal these pentagonal objects.
Yeah, you find a potion shop.
I will approach the desk and I will say, "Hello, how are you?"
Okay, do you need help with something? Normally people just kind of browse the products.
Yeah, actually, I am looking for any potions of invisibility or anything that might help conceal the user, something to help me be a little bit more sneaky.
He says, oh, right, yeah, those we keep in the case. 1 second, and they continue to bring somebody out. There's a little box with what looks like a fairy kind of floating around in it, and it turns green whenever they pass the items past it, and then he gets the money from the person. He's like, all right, come with me, and leads you to the back of the store. He opens up the case, takes out this glowing red key, and then opens it and says, I have to bring this up to the front. When we first opened the shop, we had these just up on the shelf in the back, and somebody was trying to steal one, drank it, and then took the rest of them out of the store. So ever since then, we kind of been locked up.
Makes sense to me.
How many of these do you need?
5? There's 5 of us?
You see his face light up, and he's like, oh, 5. Okay, great. Grabs 5 of them, locks the case back up, and walks up to the front.
Well, I'm hoping for a quote before I commit.
Oh, they're 200 gold each.
Sir, my life savings is maybe 50 gold. Do I look like someone that has that much gold?
So you want something a little less pricey.
Yeah, I would say my budget's probably around 25 gold.
Oh.
And I need something, my life savings is 50 gold, sir!
Well, Yeah, you're not gonna fight.
Am I with Wyatt right now?
Yeah,
we're gonna
I
see
think
that.
you all came with me.
While he's freaking out, I want to go up to the shopkeep there and just say, like, we're on a very important mission from the Harpers. Like, you realize you're talking to one of the leaders of the Harpers. He's very important. Like, we should, not only should we get a discount, we should probably be getting things for free. I'm not going to suggest you do, but like, we deserve it. Or, well, he deserves it. I don't deserve anything. He deserves it.
He goes,
Yeah, I'm the leader of the Harpers. The world's best interests are are in our hands. All right, and it is very important that
That's not quite what I said, but
well, it's what I said, and I'm gonna try and intimidate him.
well, hang on. I was trying to do a persuasion.
Oh, persuasion! Go for it. Go for it.
Did he close the cabinet with the potions in it?
yeah.
I need to make sure I even can, and I don't just automatically fail it.
Well, he's holding them right now, but he closed the cabinet as well.
But is there more in there?
Yeah.
Did it look like he locked it with like a magic key? Not something easy to pick.
Yeah. It looked like it was magic.
Okay, so can I roll persuasion on that?
Yeah.
I have imposing authority, so I get advantage on all persuasion and intimidation checks as long as I have an ally within 10 feet of me.
It's a 17 unless you roll better.
Wow, I didn't. So yeah, I'll take the
I can
17.
use one of my portents for the day.
That's just a roll, so I add
17 dice roll.
dirty 20 then.
You got a dirty 20. He says, "Oh, look, I don't want any trouble. I can give you one, but these are really expensive." So he opens up the thing again and puts all of them back except one and says, "Here, just leave before my bosses."
Thank you, sir. Know that you are contributing to a better world by giving us this potion. And I slide him 5 gold.
Okay. He says, "You could have just okay." He says, I can't just. He's like, "I got to put this in my drawer."
What costs 5 gold?
Yeah, exactly. What costs 5 gold?
Roughly therein.
Not much. You can get 5 arrows.
Do you guys buy arrows?
Yeah,
Or
actually.
do you take donations?
Yeah, I mean that
Can you pick up 5 arrows?
grabs them from like a nearby shelf.
Can you hand them to me, please?
Just,
For the 5 gold.
and he hands them to you.
I'd like to donate 5 arrows, and then I walk out.
He scratches his head. He's like, "Oh man, am I gonna get fired?"
I walk out as well, obviously.
He's just like standing there.
The problem. We paid for it, so they were ours, and then I donated them so they can still make money off of it. So I think I've done the correct thing, but I'm not here to deal with people because I'm not a huge people person.
So we have a single potion of invisibility, or is it something specific?
No, it's a potion of invisibility.
Then I would head back to where I parked my horse and my carriage, and I'd make sure everyone's with me, and I'd head on the road again.
Is anybody else buying anything in Waterdeep?
Can I see if there's any place that like sells spell scrolls or
Yeah.
robes or like anything more wizardly, like potions or arrows or anything?
Yeah, you find a place that has items for magic users. It's kind of you walk in and you kind of smell like incense.
Reeks of patchouli in here.
As you walk in, you see this like bald, very like lanky but like scrunched over, long bearded human in like a flowing black robe. He says, is somebody here?
Hello?
He says, what do you want?
I know that magical items would typically be hard to come by, but I was wondering if you had anything like spell scrolls at least.
Yeah, I got a few. He's like, what's it to you?
I'm a wizard who's still training, and sort of anything I can get my hands on is always great.
Well, anything in particular you're looking for?
I do a lot of divination work in my studies because I always love to learn more and see things in a new way. But I've never been the strongest person. I've never had a great aptitude for spells that can sort of do any damage.
Are you looking for any tiny huts?
Yeah, that could also be helpful. We do tend to travel a lot.
This is well, too bad I don't have any.
What a dick.
I was never a fan of that Leomund. I do have something. It's a lot bigger than a little tiny hut. I have a scroll of Morden Canaan's magnificent mansion. If you want one of those.
I mean, mansions are always nice, or at least all the ones I've been to are nice. How much does that typically cost?
Well, I could part ways with it for 500 platinum. And he strokes his beard.
Well, that is definitely on its way to being mansion worthy, but I do not have that much myself, so.
So, you strike a good point. If someone who is rich enough to buy this would probably have their own mansion. What do you have on you that you treasure?
I try not to be the most material person. I do come from a pretty wealthy family.
He says, he says, you know what? How about 1 gold and both your shoes?
Sure.
You see him slide off these like raggedy slippers, and he throws them at you. They smell really bad. Give them here.
Yeah, I give them to him.
He slips them on and says, "Oh, these are fancy." And the 1 gold.
Yeah, I hand him the 1 gold.
He grabs a spell. It seems like out of his cloak, and he throws it at you. He says, "Now get out."
Oh, okay, have a good day.
As soon as you exit, you hear like a big slam of a door behind you. It seems like it was a lot bigger of a door than almost like double wooden castle doors closing behind you. And then you see the shop sink into the ground, and it makes like a rumble. And then you see behind you is just like an alleyway. So now you have a scroll of One Caden's Magnificent Mansion.
Okay.
Is it like a better Liamon's tiny hut?
It's not a tiny hut, it's a magnificent mansion. It can be a 500 square foot building, furnished as I choose, containing sufficient food to serve a 9-course banquet for up to 100 people. It's staffed by 100 near-transparent servants.
Anybody else buying anything?
I mean, I need new shoes.
I have no money, so.
Yeah, see if there's a tailor around.
You can have my shoes if you want.
Then you won't have shoes, Shizenno.
So?
Then we'll have to find a cobbler for you.
That's not a big deal.
Let's find a cobbler for Abby so that we don't have to trade shoes and then find a cobbler for you.
Yeah, I would get some vaguely stylish, but mostly functional, like walking boots. Like not so much hiking boots, but not also like they're fancy and I'm worried about getting them dirty.
There'd be about 10 silver.
Yeah, I'll just easy enough, just get a pair of boots. Not super picky about it. I'm ready to go now.
Say, all right, let's get back on the road then.
Yes, you head up the road past Waterdeep.
Once an hour goes by, you guys see me starting to like chuckle to myself as I shuffle some papers around.
Yeah, so you're heading through, it's kind of like a hilly terrain. You're coming up past the small town of Amphale. Yeah, now you're on the long road. You can see the Sword Mountains kind of like in the distance off to the west and northwest.
Are we stopping here for the night?
Would we have to stop?
You could keep going with the horses, but they'll probably wouldn't walk any further than the edge of the Sword Mountains, and then they'd have to rest for more than 3 hours.
All right, let's stop here then for the night.
You set up camp. As you're setting up camp, Din says, we're a few days out from Flint Rock, so I just want everybody to kind of be prepared because these guys are going to be pretty strong, I guess.
All right. Sounds good to me. I'm going to let you make the first move. We will back up whatever you decide to do. So I'm guessing we'll go to sleep.
Everybody make me a perception check.
10.
11.
Natural 20.
19.
So, Aero and Shizenno, you notice that Din is like eating and drinking a lot more often than usual. I mean, not more often, larger amounts. He seems like he keeps like coughing and then like touching his throat. And then this last part is only for Shizenno. You've seen this like once before. These are the starting signs of the taint.
Oh, that's bad.
I guess I'd like pat Din on the back and be like, you doing all right there, buddy?
He says, yeah, just like, I feel like I got something stuck in my throat, so I'm trying to, wash that down.
You don't look so good, man.
He says, what do you know? It's like, stop touching me.
Hey, Wyatt.
Yeah?
Do you know if there's any towns coming out soon?
Let me take a look at the map.
You know that this area, they're all like abandoned towns. This area was like hit a bunch during the Cult of the Dragon.
Oh, that's great. Then I would relay that to Shizenno.
Wyatt knows, but it indicated that he had an idea of what the taint was before it, right?
Yep.
Try to pull Wyatt to the side if he'll come along.
Yeah.
I think Din may be affected with the taint, and if we don't get a healing spell within the next couple of days, he'll probably die.